Alex, you dare come into my podcast. Mike's camera action on this day my daughter's wedding.
Yes.
Well then, I, Don Carl Leon, have no choice but to welcome you
to an oddly mob-themed episode of Sharktember as we talk about Shark Tale.
Yeah, Shark Tale's a mob movie.
It's a mob movie. It's like, we were like, yeah, what's a good shark movie? What's something that's not like the generic killer shark movie? And we were like, Shark Tale.
Yeah.
Dope. It's got shark in the name. It's about sharks. Robert De Niro's in it. Will
Black's
Smith's in it. Jack Black's a shark in it. Why not? What could go wrong?
Martin Scorsese's in it.
What? Scorsese's fucking it. Hans Zimmer did the music in it. And it's really, like, it's full of so many mob references. It's got so many lines from, like, The Godfather and The Goodfellas in it.
Yeah, it was bizarre. Like, even the mole that Robert De Niro's mole makes it into the film on a shark.
On a shark, which is just, it's ridiculous, but it's kind of a fun movie. Like, I actually enjoy this quite a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst movie I've seen.
No, not at all. It's probably not the worst movie you've seen this month, even.
Oh, probably not. No.
And it's not the worst movie you're gonna see this month.
No. I definitely wanted to mention how the animation.
Yeah. It's not fantastic.
No.
There's definitely better.
It's okay until you get close.
Yeah.
As soon as they had close-ups, it felt really weird.
There's a lot of, like, I was noticing this especially on, like, Sykes, the pufferfish.
Yeah.
Where his eyes are a little odd. There's just something about when they get close up to his face and you just look at his eyes where they just don't seem right. And it just starts to feel like a bit cheap.
Part of me keeps wondering whether or not they're trying to make these fish look like the actors, and then it sort of like uncanny valley.
I mean, they got De Niro, like the shark Godfather does look like De Niro.
Yeah, and like the Will Smith fish does look like Will Smith.
A little bit, yeah.
And so does the
Angelina Jolie fish.
Yeah.
It's just there are a lot of similarities to be drawn. And they're not even performance capturing their faces, man. This is before that.
Why did they have to make that weird fish so? Why did they have to make a Lola? Like, what was with that? With the clap and then like the mood lighting and the sound, and it's like, am I gonna watch a fish sex scene?
Yes, she's gonna lay her eggs, and he's just gonna jizzle over them.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's how fish mate.
Yeah.
Kind of gross.
It's really gross.
A wonder of nature, but also disgusting.
I'm sure fish would say that your way of reproduction is gross, Alex.
True. Just remember, mermaids not that great.
Hey, why couldn't she be the other kind of mermaid with the fish part on top and the human part on the bottom? That's the second Futurama reference in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you gotta love Futurama. Trust me, I'm a whale biologist.
I'm a whale biologist.
But yeah, so Shark Tale, I wanted to do Shark Tale because it's not just Jaws and The Meg were just shark in the water monster movies.
Yes.
That's all they were.
It's two different kind of interpretations of it.
Yeah,
which is why we wanted to go with something like that. Like, we've got the most recent and the original in a way. This is something entirely different.
Yeah, this is something.
Which is something fresh.
Yeah, it's a kid's film.
It's a kid's film.
I really do generally like kids' films.
Dude, I love kids' movies.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I'll hype up how much I love a good action movie or or even just some great drama or romance. You know, I mean, I've a really wide liking of films. I go from most genres, but I love kids' movies. Yeah. It just brings me back to being a kid.
I really love animation in general.
Yeah.
Because you can do a lot more with it. That's why I really liked Kubo and the Two Strings.
Kubo and the Two Strings was fantastic. Same with I saw Zootopia earlier this year.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, I want to see Coco. I missed it in cinema.
Same.
Hopefully it comes out on Netflix or something.
I have a potential guest lined up who really wants to talk about Coco.
Nice. But moving away from that,
back to Shark Tale, back to the movie we originally set out to talk about.
So let's just start. We mentioned the cast, and we'll talk about the cast right now.
Sure.
That thing has a cast.
It's an all-star cast.
Yeah, it's an all-star cast.
There's
in
some
an animated
big
film.
names, and especially big names for the time.
Yeah. But like even like, and none of those names are they're still big names.
They're not. Some of them aren't as as popular as they used to be. This is definitely like the height for Jack Black in movies.
Yeah,
Jack Black hasn't been in much.
Jack Black always has that thing of where but this is pre Kung Fu Panda though.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty
Also,
Kung Fu Panda, but School of Rock would have come out before this,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Also, as a side note, right now, like this period of time, Jack Black is experiencing some sort of renaissance as like the older man in films.
Oh, okay.
It's bizarre. Like in Goosebumps, he was that, and now
Yeah.
I think there's
He was. He was. In
the house
Goosebumps.
and the clock or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Has
Okay.
like the trailers.
When I first saw the trailer for that, I was like, "Hang on, is this the Goosebumps thing?"
Yeah, Jack Black's in a similar role, and then
Yeah.
then there was Jumanji, where I didn't see Jumanji, but
I
the
haven't seen Jumanji.
trailers made him look like.
I mean, he
older.
plays a in that movie. He plays a like teenage girl put in an old man's body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bizarre that
It seems like a very Jack Black role, actually. Like
Yeah.
something he'd really like.
Yeah, Jack Black is sort of like, as he's gotten older, is going like, yeah, all right, I'm an old man now. Let's go play those old man roles, sort of thing.
The
And he's
peds come out at night.
he's always considering he was an actor that I think got into it while he was relatively old, at least in major films. Like School of Rock is the first thing I really remember him in,
Yeah.
and he must have been at least 30.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so now he's let's see how old Jack Black is actually.
All right, onto the IMDb search. This is a staple for new listeners to Mike's Camera Action. This is a staple of every episode where someone's got to go on IMDb.
Okay, so Jack Black's only 49.
There you go. He's not he's
Yeah.
not old at all. Come
No,
on.
I thought he was a bit older, like not by much, but when that means that when
I mean, he definitely would have been 30, like before 30 by the
would have
time
been-
School of Rock came out.
it was 34 when School of Rock
There you
came
go.
out. School of Rock came out 15 years ago.
Christ.
Yeah, so like he was like 35 when that came out, and I was right. So like
Yeah.
his like first major, he's sort of made those sort of older sort of things his own, and
Yeah.
I do enjoy him. He's a good actor.
I like Jack Black.
My favorite bit is his cameo in Community. He appears. It's like the first episode of like the second season. He just appears, and he's just like
Just
it's
appears.
like, and they're like, "Oh, who are you?" "I'm Buddy." It's like, "Oh yeah, with my body type, I blend into the background," and it cuts to just cuts to things of Jack Black like responding to different segments. And he's like, he does all kinds of. He does his like high kick, but at the end of the episode, Owen Wilson rocks up, and it's like, there's another group. Owen Wilson's just in that episode
it's
too.
Not role. Okay.
I love Community so much. But yeah, definitely. Definitely, it was one of those. It was, Jack Black would have been about his peak.
Yeah.
You're right though, because it was a couple of
This is what year did this movie come out? Did Shark Tale come out? Like 2007 maybe? If I would take a guess off the top of my head.
Shark Tale came out 2004.
2000. Wow, earlier than I thought.
Yeah, Shark Tale came out a year after School of Rock.
Wow, okay.
4 years.
2004.
Yeah.
So yeah,
This is before Tenacious D Pickett Destiny.
there you go. So yeah, Will Smith is definitely like still height of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will Smith is still doing pretty well for himself. Angelina Jolie's a big deal. De Niro kind of feel like comes and goes sometimes because he's been around a while.
Yeah, De Niro is one of those actors where he had some really good films and then he was in Bad Grandpa,
Yeah,
which came out in like February, and I saw a review saying, is it too early to call worst movie of the year with Bad Grandpa? And I'm like, Jesus.
yeah. De Niro's interesting because he kind of. I feel like I have seen a whole bunch of stuff with him in it, but I feel like it's kind of like sporadic throughout the years.
Yeah, Robert.
Like there isn't like a specific like 5-year or 10-year period where I'm like, this is like the best time for De Niro.
Yeah, like he switched from being like the young gangster sort of stuff to, I'm a distinguished man now.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. Like there's The Intern, which is 2015. Oh, it was Dirty Grandpa, not Bad Grandpa, because Bad Grandpa was the Jackass one.
Yeah. Bad Grandpa's the whatchamacallit, Johnny Knoxville movie.
Yeah, like there's stuff like Raging Bull,
Yeah.
Taxi Driver.
Love
The
those.
70s and 80s, I think, were when he was like,
I feel like that's the ones I associate with him the most. Like the ones I associate with De Niro the
you got
most are his
Goodfellas.
Scorsese films.
you got Goodfellas in
Yeah.
1990. But then you've got like stuff like Meet the Fockers, Meet the Parents.
Which I don't really associate as being like huge,
Yeah, they're not-
super big movies.
They're not De Niro films, they're just films with De Niro in them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Stardust. I love that film.
I haven't seen that one actually, but I've heard a lot of good things.
Oh, I really recommend Stardust.
It's like I gotta talk about. So we've talked about the sharks in this movie.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the opening to this movie, it paints an odd picture of society.
Yeah.
So the equivalent of the sharks in this world. So we see Lenny and Frankie swimming about the reef, and the moment they leave, everyone comes out of the woodwork and appears, and society starts up again. This is the equivalent of like if humans had to every now and again if like in our society, if suddenly a dragon would fly over a city, and we'd all hide and scatter.
No,
and we'd get off the street, and it's like, no, dragons.
No, it wouldn't be a dragon. I wouldn't say it would be even a dragon. I think it'd be something like just a bigger dude.
A big dude. Like, it's just the moment people go, shark, they'll scatter and they're gone.
Yeah, they're like, oh.
Society hides and all the fish disappear off the roof.
I think it's like giants, like rather than like
bit.
dragons. Because all in all, sharks are basically big fish.
Yeah.
Except the orcas that are at the shark funeral.
Yeah, the killer whales are present.
I was like, all right.
You've got a good mix of sharks, including a dozen killer whales.
These aren't sharks.
Yeah.
These are mammals.
Does the Godfather know about this?
I think I'd like
Lino
to.
know?
I just like to think that the killer whales are just faking it, thinking like, yeah, we're sharks.
Yeah, sharks.
You ever heard of whale sharks? That's us.
Whale sharks.
Whale sharks are legitimate things.
The whale sharks weren't invited, but the whale sharks are present at the whale meeting.
Yeah, and they're like, well, the spies in the inside. They're just two mob families and spying on each other. Yeah,
I gotta say, so I want to talk about the opening sequence here. The music in that moment is very Jaws inspired.
Yeah,
you can tell, and
Yeah.
that's what we were talking about last week, where Jaws has just permeated shark films.
Yeah.
Even in something like an animated movie where sharks are mobsters.
My favorite thing is that that's not Lenny, Freddy,
Frankie.
Frankie makes the da dum
Da-dun.
da dum, and Lenny's like,
Yeah.
stop that, it scares me.
I don't like that. Stop.
And he's like, but it's our theme.
It's the shark theme, dude. And from there, so the intro's a little weird. So we get like all the glimpses of like what fish society is like, including they have a sushi place.
That's empty, and the
Which,
dude's upset
which is empty,
about
and the
it.
guy's mad, but why? This is like me opening a person shop.
Yeah,
You can't serve fish to fish. That's cannibalism. Or can you? Fish eat fish. It's a fish eat fish world out there.
And then you've got like all the stars in the Walk of Fame, and
Including
it's, like,
Seal, who's an actual seal.
Muscle Crow.
I wish I'd pause to take a look at those.
Yeah, like they actually read them out, and I'm like, this is making the joke worse.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff
Seal.
that goes on in that film. Yeah,
There's like a weird level of self-awareness in this movie as well.
yeah,
Like it knows it's underwater, but sometimes it acknowledges it and sometimes it doesn't.
yeah. There's Cod Stewart.
God, Stu.
Yeah, and it's like, it's really. You're right. That this film has a lot going on.
There's a lot.
Like they constantly make references to the Titanic,
Yeah.
just slightly.
Just
like
a
you
little
see,
bit.
you see the thing. I'm like, oh, the ship's broken up. I wonder if that's the Titanic. And then you see him throw something, and it's like sticks into the picture of what's her name, Kate Winslet or whatever, from the Titanic.
From the Titanic film, yeah.
Rose, that's it.
Yeah.
It
And
sticks in, and I'm like, wait, what?
Then there's the older shark who's singing at Frankie's funeral who asks, do you want me to sing the Titanic song?
Yeah, and it's like, and he had like the wreath at the funeral was actually just the license preserver from
Yeah.
the Titanic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on in this film? Like,
There's a few moments in there that I want to talk about where they definitely throw under that, like, once again, like the scene from Futurama where like they're underwater in it's the mermaid episode where Bender uncorks a bottle of I think it's like rum or wine or something, tips upside down, and it just spills out everywhere.
yeah.
It's like, damn you, fluid dynamics. This happens in this movie.
Yeah, the octopus is pouring out the coffee and hands it to the mob boss, but there's nothing in it.
Yeah, he tips it and it sort of like just spills out and goes up, and then he hands it, and then he stirs an empty mug and hands it to him. It's funny. It's actually really funny, but it's really like dumb, and I love that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really dumb things that just happen in this film.
There's even that moment where they're at the seahorse track, and then he even Will Smith's character Oscar calls it out, where he's like, "It was going so well, and then he tripped underwater." How does anyone even trip underwater?
There's nothing to trip on.
Like,
And also
there's
how-
moments like
how,
that, they're just like, okay, even the plot, which hinges on this thing happening, they acknowledge that, like, yeah, it's dumb. It can't happen, but we're
Yeah.
willing to go along with it for the
Also,
sake of this.
when Will Smith's character decides his new get-rich-quick scheme is bottled water.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Bottled water.
And Angie's like, What?
No.
No.
I want to talk about the whale wash.
Working at the
Car wash, yeah.
Man, they had a flash game on the website, or Sharktale website for this.
Legit?
Yeah, I played it.
Oh
I
my
played
God.
I played the shit out of it.
That doesn't shock me at all now that I think about it. There's a great line from like where they like a whale shows up and Angie's trying to upsell like, hey, you
Yeah.
want this, this, and this. And there's a moment where she's talking about like I think it's the turtle wax. And
it's
and
a
the
hot
whale
wax.
just
It's like,
yeah.
it's mating season.
it's mating season and I'm feeling lucky.
I was like, gross.
That's fucking great. I love it.
Also,
It's dumb as hell.
that reminds me of something. So there's one, they close a trunk on Oscar.
Yeah, and
That's
it's a
actually
whale
mouth.
closing its mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
A little bit.
2, the trains are apparently lobsters.
Yep.
3, there are taxis and
Yeah.
buses.
And they're just fish.
Yeah, the taxi
just a
drivers
fish.
are apparently Indian stereotypes too.
Yeah.
Because my subtitles were like screaming in Hindi. And
Screaming in Hindi.
I'm like, whoa, that's
Okay.
a taxi driver. Jesus, let's get away from this stereotype right here.
Back on the whale wash. Everyone laughs at Oscar for his dad being a tongue scrubber and him being a tongue scrubber.
Yeah.
Is it really that unprestigious a job? How is a tongue scrubber worse than the eel who has to zap barnacles off the belly of a whale?
Oh,
or the
no.
turtle who's got to rub itself on a whale?
Oh, all the people at the whale wash are scum.
Yeah. Headphone guy. No! I'll serve you.
Yeah, headphone guy, why are you wearing headphones?
Headphone
buddy?
guy, man. Because that's his thing. You wouldn't tell
That's
Da
not-
Vinci not to Da Vinci. You wouldn't tell headphone guy not to headphone.
No, but like seriously, that's an OH&S issue. Let's not get into the OH&S.
A little bit, yeah.
He
He would have been fine. A whale pukes on him. He gets okay.
I just like how they have like clamps for the whales. And
Yeah.
It's like
I gotta give him credit for the whale wash actually like being a consistent thing in this movie.
yeah.
Where it's like super focused on at the beginning, it comes up in the middle, and then it closes out at the end.
Yeah.
Where it's used as the plot, like they hide Lenny there, and then it's used as the plot device to defeat Leno
Yeah.
in
Leno.
the final act.
Yeah.
And that's used in like the resolution where it's like, hey, now it's my car wash. Oscar, the greatest guy ever. Get rich scheme. Owning a car wash.
Whale wash.
Whale wash.
Yeah, it's like
The song is car wash. It throws me off. In my notes, I had to rub out the word car a dozen times because I wrote that.
oh, I think there may be a version. There's a music video of this that may be the Sharktale music video. It's that, or there's an actual version that says whale wash.
I feel like I've heard the whale wash version before. I feel like I
Yeah.
must have.
Yeah, no, because there's a version with Will Smith where it's the whale wash, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it sounds right.
And that's a lot of garbage. a lot of this film is like pretty good, but like it feels like it's just throwing references at
It's
you.
a hodgepodge of a million different movies set underwater.
Yeah.
There's also a weird, like, at the beginning, I thought there's a weird Elysium thing going on with the top of the reef.
Yeah.
Where it's like you've got everyone sitting at the bottom, and then you've got the big shots, like the 1% who chill out in the top.
Also, can we also just shout out to the fact that they called Lola a gold digger from the start?
Not only that, she acknowledges at one point how she acknowledges how superficial
Deep down, I'm
she
just
is.
superficial.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
She knows it. She's like sure, sharks are the apex predator, but she's a predator in herself. She just
Yeah.
she just preys on fame rather than fish meat.
And I was like, Christ, that's brutal.
Yeah. Hey man, if you're gonna be that way, you rock it, man.
Yeah, and it's
You
like,
be the most superficial you can be.
I like how a lot of them have hair.
Yeah.
Also, Lenny has legs. Not Lenny, Oscar has legs.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's got like the two tails which turn to legs.
But like the others have like the female fish have like dresses that sort of get away with it, and
Yeah.
Lenny has legs, and he crosses them, and it's kind of unnerving because it's like,
It's a little
what?
weird.
Why do you have legs?
It's fish that are oddly anthropomorphized.
Yeah, that's the worst bit. Is like sometimes they're like they're like this weird mixture where like, no, we haven't quite anthropomorphized them yet, but they're not super realistic to the
Yeah.
animal, and it's like, what?
Like there are some weird. There's some moments where like Sykes' two henchmen, the jellyfish,
Yeah.
are like straight up human shaped,
Yeah.
They're like stick figure people.
Yeah, they are.
And then they turn back into like amorphous jellyfish.
Yeah, because when they're torturing Oscar,
Yeah.
it's like they
They're
like move legs and
the way they're
arms.
animated is they look like they're animated as a person. Like they've got the rigging of a person where they've got like clearly defined legs and arms.
Yeah, but they're jellyfish.
But and then they go back to just being like jellyfish, like amorphous blobs 2 scenes later.
Also, what's up with the Rastafarian jellyfish?
Yeah, man, everything's a racial stereotype in this movie.
I know, and like at one point, Oscar's like, not a whitefish can do this.
Yeah, he tries to give like Sykes the fist bump, and he's like, "It's all right, no, a lot of white fish can do this." Sykes is a brown fish. He's a brown puffer fish. He's not white at all.
Yeah.
Like, it ties in better with Sykes at the end, trying to do the same thing to Lino, and he's like, "It's all right, no, great whites can do this."
Yeah, but like at the same time, like if you see as soon as when Sykes become Oscar's manager, they do it.
Yeah. One of my favorite lines in this movie is when they're negotiating pay for the Shark Slayer's manager.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're throwing out numbers like 90-10, 70-30, and they're just throwing off, and he's like, 50-50. You happy? No. You happy? No. Deal.
Yeah, no, my favorite bit was they say 50-50 at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's just like that's such a great interaction. I love that moment.
Yeah, it's a wild. Oh man.
Mm.
Oh, I just saw a picture of Sykes compared to Martin Scorsese, and it's really weirdly anthropomorphized.
Really?
Pufferfish.
Flip around.
So there's Sykes.
Yep.
Scorsese. Legit,
It's
right?
got the smile, yeah.
It's got the smile and the eyebrows.
Yeah.
They've taken like really noticeable features of the people and added them to fish.
Yeah.
Like it's like Will Smith looks genuinely like Will Smith, except like the face is a bit like outwards.
Yeah.
But like the lips and the eyes are about the same.
It's fish sized, basically.
Yeah, and it's
Like they've given Will Smith bug eyes, basically.
Yeah, and I'm like, why did anyone make this a thing?
Because money. I gotta say, so coming back to the mafia sharks, because this is Sharktember, we gotta talk about.
Yeah, we gotta talk about sharks.
What is the deal with the mafia sharks? They don't seem to me like an effective mafia in this society.
Oh, why?
They're not shaking anyone down for protection money. They show up in the reef and everyone hides and disappears from existence.
Yeah.
The only fish they have any interaction with is Sykes.
Yeah, they just scare everyone away.
What's Sykes do? What does Sykes do? He's a guy who owns a whale wash.
Yeah.
That's his contribution to society as far as we know. Aside from being the Shark Slayer's manager later in the movie, he's a guy with a whale wash who has his own private booth at a horse track.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that it's weird because Sykes does have a lot of money somehow.
Yeah. Like, what's he do? What is his business? He's selling some sort of fish drugs, right?
Yeah, like it's a money laundering.
Yeah.
You
Must be.
launder
Yeah,
money
that's true,
through
yeah.
the whale wash.
That makes
It's a
sense.
legitimate business thing, and that's why he works with Don Lino because
Yeah.
Don Lino launders the money through the whale wash.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's why they have the killer whales.
Yeah. Killer whales.
It all
It's all a
comes-
conspiracy, man.
Yeah, it's all conspiracy. Breaking this wide open. That's why Sykes didn't have to pay him protection money, but now he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that. All
Okay.
comes together in this big conspiracy.
I just want to say, like, Lenny and Frankie, they would have made a great team.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen like a buddy cop film of Lenny and
Oh,
Franklin.
come on. Like, I didn't think it at first because, like, oh, Lenny's not a killer and all this kind of stuff. But Lenny Lenny would have been brilliant as part of that team.
Yeah.
He brings a different perspective to it.
Yeah.
We've got Frankie to be the muscle, but Lenny could totally be some of the brains with a little bit of training because there's a moment when he meets Oscar
Yeah.
and he says like, "Oh, I'll tell everyone that you're not the real Shark Slayer."
Yeah.
Or he'll tell Don Lino who the supposed Shark Slayer is. So it's this great moment where he blackmails Oscar.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you would have been perfect for the job.
Yeah.
He's oddly manipulative.
You got to remember, Don Lino was like, yeah, both of my sons, because both of them together are brilliant.
Yeah, he's proud of his kids. I gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah,
like
so
he
it's
loves
like-
his kids.
It's like Frankie. It's like Lenny is special. Yeah, special. And you look over and
Lenny
he's
is
like,
special.
"Wee."
He's spinning around on his chair. There's I want to say the restaurant scene where he's
Yeah.
like, "Eat the shrimp, Lenny. Eat the shrimp."
And the shrimp.
And the
starts
shrimp's
talking.
got the saddest story. My sister died, and I had to take care of my sister's kid, and he's got no arms and no legs, so I have to work in the factory to take care of this little stump of a child. It's like, oh my god. And of course, that's fake, but it's
Yeah.
hilarious and so sad.
It's like, why did you make this a thing?
He just keeps going further. It's one thing to say, oh, I got a kid, but no, it's my dead sister's kid. He's an orphan, and
He's a stump now
and
because
he's-
he lost his arms and legs.
he's got no arms and legs, so he's just a stump.
Oh,
He's just like
man.
this stumpy thing I have to take care of. It's like, oh my god.
So I was reading about the actor who plays Frankie, Michael Imperioli.
Yep.
And again, another like legitimate gangster
Yeah.
movie appearer. The only one out of place is
Is Jack Black. But of course, that
Yeah.
just makes sense. Jack Black, you wouldn't think would be a good mob boss,
No.
but he could be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. We haven't tried.
The ultimate plot twist is actually that this was just Lenny's plan to have a hostile takeover of the family. The anchor was timed.
Oh my god. It's a cleverly planned assassination mission so that Lenny can dethrone Frankie.
Yeah, Lenny's not a killer himself, but he's not above.
He's not above getting someone else to do his dirty work.
Yeah. It's so weird that like in terms of shark representation, they've gone from monsters to mafia.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. Like, it's of all the things, like, it's so weird because now the Catholicism is down in the ocean, and it was super weird. That moment really threw me off.
I want to take a moment to talk about sort of why we picked Shark Tale to talk about.
Yeah.
Where we were talking about how we couldn't. I wanted to go through like a list of shark movies and see what we
Yeah.
could get to get some differences. So we got the Meg and Jaws, and unfortunately, like we were saying, this is the only shark movie where sharks featured as primary characters, not like in Finding Nemo where they're side characters that disappear for the rest of the movie. Like primary characters that isn't about killer sharks. And I have a giant list here.
Even Finding Nemo, they're killer sharks.
Yeah,
Even in Shark Tale, they're killer sharks, but they're
there's
more
like some humanizing to
Yeah.
them. And I printed out a list of all the like a whole bunch of shark movies that I could find to give us like a good representation of shark movies that have come out of like just shark movies. So we've got things, and you'll notice there's a running theme here: avalanche sharks. I've seen the trailer for this. I love the trailer for avalanche sharks. It's like they unearth some ancient shark frozen under the ice, and it swims around in the snow. Cruel Jaws? Which, come on, what were they even thinking of naming a movie Cruel Jaws? It's like Angry Jaws. Dino Shark and Jurassic Shark.
Yeah.
Which Jurassic Shark is a brilliant name.
Yeah.
Like, I love anything that rhymes in that way. But aren't sharks in the end kind of dinosaurs anyway?
Yeah,
like,
they are.
unchanged for 100 million years and that kind of
Apart
stuff?
from Megalodon, but still, yeah.
Yeah. You've got Ghost Shark and Ghost Shark 2.
I own a copy of Ghost Shark.
You've got Jaws, Jaws 2, Jaws 3, Jaws the Revenge, and Jaws in Japan.
Oh, Jaws in Japan.
I don't even know if Jaws in Japan is related to the Jaws movies in any way. I wish I'd looked into that more. Ozark Sharks, Shark with an exclamation mark. Then you've got Shark Attack 1, 2, and 3. And those are movies that's just like, yeah, we're not going to come up with anything creative. This is what the movie's about. The Asylum loves its shark movies.
Yeah.
So I'll just read off some of these quickly. So going through the shark content from The Asylum, Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus, Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus, Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark, Mega Shark versus Colossus with a K. Then we've got Sharktopus, Sharktopus versus Terracuda, Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf, and then of course the 6 Sharknado movies.
Yeah, there's 6 of them.
There's 6 of them now.
You also missed Two-Headed Shark Attack and its sequel, Three-Headed
Three-headed shark.
Oh, man, some of these look bad, even to me.
Yeah. No, there's some genuine garbage out there.
Swamp Shark, Shark in Venice. I want to see what Shark
And the
in Venice
unfortunate thing is they're all killer shark movies.
Yeah, it's just like they keep putting sharks in places. Like, yeah, this will do.
It's just where can someone get attacked by a shark? The pool sharks.
No, that's just Piranha.
No man, Pool Sharks. It's a movie about pool hustling.
It's like, yeah, boy. And it's like you turn around and they're the sharks and they got to fit on their back. Maybe that's how the mob made their money, by being pool sharks.
Pool hustlers. The Color of Money, but sharks.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad ones, and it's one of those ones where I think like the fact is you don't have to show the monster.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a way you can get away with a lot of like dancing around that basically. If you're doing a bear movie, the bear's gonna be around the corner, right? There's the bear.
There's a bear in there.
Yeah, like you have
And a chair as well.
like a shark movie. The shark can come from anywhere. You'll
There's
never
games
see
to
it coming.
play.
There's
And stories to
Alex,
tell.
knock it off, please.
Open wide.
Also, I want to talk about Megalodon, the monster shark lives.
Yeah.
Which, if you've ever seen Discovery Channel's Shark Week content, that aired during Shark Week, and they do this a lot now, where they put out like some mockumentary during Shark Week. Like they put out Shark Week was when they put out the mermaid mockumentary. If you've not seen that one, that's interesting. Where it's like a whole bunch of marine biologists like trying to prove the existence of mermaids while government organizations are trying to stop them and deny it. And then you've got Megalodon, the monster shark lives, which is like a mockumentary where it's basically like The Meg, but a mockumentary where they come up with the theory of like there's a giant super mega shark out there somewhere in the water that's been there for 100 million for millions of years, that's lived all this time. And then I'm not kidding, Alex, they put a tracker on it.
Oh no.
These guys catch a megalodon, stick a tracker on it and let it go. And the end of this movie is it dives underwater, keeps going down until their tracker fails. It's like, oh my god, it keeps going down. It's going deeper. Oh, the tracker failed. Holy crap, that thing went fast.
Oh no.
It's such a ridiculous idea. So, yeah.
But a lot of the times in these films, like sharks are presented as monsters.
Yeah.
They're not like just creatures of the deep. They're the monster.
Yeah. The shark is always a monster, which is unfortunate because it's not really a monster.
Yeah, but at the same time,
it's a killing machine in a way, depending on how you look at it.
But as the mayor in Jaws sort of said, if you yell barracuda, everyone goes, "What's that?"
Yeah.
You yell shark, everyone exits the beach.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sharks are a very like resonant thing. It's just something in society where we associate sharks as being these violent predators.
Yeah, because the only other things that are big are like dolphins.
Dolphins aren't particularly violent. They aren't full of. They don't have teeth the size of shot glasses lining their mouths.
They can be violent, but
they're not 25 feet long.
Unlike whales, who are like,
which whales are super peaceful creatures.
Look at me do a flip,
they're
boys.
Huge, but if a whale, like if a blue whale, had was a meat-eating creature,
I'd be like never getting in the water.
Yeah, and had teeth lining its mouth the size of my hand, then we would cull them. They would be extinct by now.
Yeah. Also, the other one I can think of are like killer whales, orcas.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, not a people see like. I think another reason why I think sharks are so prevalent is because you go to America, sharks are there. You come to Australia, sharks are there. You go, you go to like Africa, sharks are there. You go, no matter where you go, there are sharks chilling about in the waters.
Yeah. Great whites are a cross-continental creature. You see them in every ocean.
Yeah, they swim around, and it's just wild.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love sharks.
It shows you own a copy of Ghost Shark 1 and 2.
No, I only own a copy of Ghost Shark 1.
Oh, only one? Oh, man, you should really pick up that. Have you seen it before?
No.
Or you just have the copy of it?
I just have a copy of it. It's on my to-watch list.
Okay.
It's like Sharktopus vs. Terracuda.
You'll have to get a report for us later.
Yeah, I might write up the thing about all the shark films.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But yeah, so there's so many shark films, but only Shark Tale presents any of them in like a positive manner.
Yeah, Shark Tale actually presents, like even Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Bruce is a killer.
Yeah, they just...
The moment Bruce gets smells a hint of blood, he goes completely he goes into like this mindless killing machine mode. Like for all his fish are friends not food mentality, the second he gets a taste of blood, he's all for it.
It's just a lot of like repressing their natural instinct.
Yeah.
Whereas Lenny doesn't have that instinct.
Yeah, Lenny's a vegetarian. The second he has a fish in his mouth, he wants to throw up.
Yeah, he finds it disgusting.
He hates the idea.
Yeah, and I like it. It's just one of those ones where I found it interesting. Yeah.
And it's funny. This is a funny movie sometimes.
Sometimes
it's got moments.
A bit much. Sometimes
they're a little on the nose.
Katie Current instead of Katie Couric.
Which, by the way, Katie Current is a bad journalist.
Yeah.
Like when I started doing started doing interviewing subjects at being a journalism student, what the number one thing they told us when we started learning about things like when we started learning vox pops and interviews, they said the first thing they told us about vox pops, never hand over the microphone. First chance Katie Current gets, she hands the microphone right over to Oscar and says, "Go ahead, speak your heart out."
Oh, no.
Never do that. Don't hold it in front of somebody. Maintain control. You're the journalist.
Yeah,
Instead, she's like, you know what? This will be fun. Throws the microphone to Oscar and lets him have his piece.
Yeah, it's like, I'm the Shark Slayer.
Shark Slayer.
It's like, sharks tremble before me. But yeah, definitely Shark Tale is one to watch if you're interested in like seeing a different side of sharks, but not accurately.
Not accurately, of course not. But it's fun while it lasts. There's a lot of also really good physical comedy. I talked about this a little bit more. There's a lot of physical comedy stuff, like from the drinks not pouring out. The old shark, when he's telling Lino about the Shark Slayer, he spikes the lens and looks away from Lino.
Yeah.
Like he goes like, the Shark Slayer, and looks away from him and spikes the lens. And then Lino has to turn him around and goes, hey, I'm over here. And then he turns around and does it again to Lino.
Yeah. It's wild.
Like, I like stuff like that. That's funny to me.
Also, it's like, turn on your TV. There is like, turn off your TV. What do you mean your TV's off?
What do you mean your TV's off? Turn it back on. He's got like a little bit of J. Jonah Jameson in there.
And it's just wild. It's the entire film is just a wild time. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it.
Do you think the Oscar the Shark Slayer video game will get a sequel?
Yes. Very well deserved sequel.
I want to say there is a brilliant line in this that I have to say before we close. Katie Current says, "You lost everything you lied. You lost everything you lied to achieve. What's next?" Right at the end. I love that line. It's so ridiculous and stupid, but it sums this up so well.
It's like, what's next? Penis.
Like, there's an oddly self-aware element of this movie.
Yeah,
that just it hits you so hard on the nose.
This movie's like, yeah, we're being self-aware. Now we're not. Now we are again. Now we're not. Now we are again. Sushi restaurant.
Yeah. We're talking about in the Meg, where the characters take it completely seriously, but the world is stupid. In this movie, they flip-flop everywhere. Where the world's serious, now the world's stupid. And the characters are serious, now the characters are stupid. Like, it just picks and chooses its moments. Whereas whether it's like the record skipping to I Like Big Butts and I Cannot Lie in Lino's room.
Yeah, and it's like, what? And then they put it in and it's just the background music and it's like, all right.
So, Alex, next week is the final week of Sharktember. And so this is kind of the reason why, this is part of the reason why Sharktember exists. So when we started this season, I said, let's do the Meg for the first week. It's current, it's new, it's like the latest big blockbuster. Solo was when we started. Yeah. Let's do that. Then you told me that week, when we watched the Meg, that a new movie came out.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what that movie is called?
Sharknado 6.
Yeah. So Sharknado 6 is the latest Sharknado movie, which I didn't know there were 6 of them. I thought there were 3. So it's shocking to me that there's been one a year, pretty much, since they came out. So the reason why Sharktember exists is because I gave Alex permission to do that movie.
Yeah. Also, I'd like it to be known that its actual name is The Last Sharknado. It's about time.
It's about time. There'll be a 7. So next week, we're not just doing Sharknado 6. Next week is the Sharknado special, where Alex and I are going to watch Sharknadoes 1 through 6 in a single sitting.
Yeah, we're going to binge it.
We're going to binge all of Sharknado, and then that week give you a horrid, worn-out, brain-dead
I'm so excited. You don't understand.
Thoughts on 9 hours of Sharknado
9 hours
movies.
of Sharknado films.
For reference, Alex has seen all of them bar 6 already, and he's excited.
I probably would have watched the 6th one if we weren't going to binge them all, so that way I watched the last one with you.
Yeah, and I have seen the first maybe 20 minutes of the first one.
Yeah, no, I've seen them all.
So I'm going into this pretty much blind. And Alex is gonna be the one, like the Sharknado veterans. He's gonna be able to correct me on everything I get wrong about this.
To be fair, the only one I've only seen the first one and the 5th one multiple times.
Okay.
The rest I've only seen once when it came
God.
out.
So join us next time for the Mike's Camera Action Sharknado special.
Yeah, boys.